My name's Brad Albert. I'm the Parks and Community Services Director for the city. I have my business cards. I'll give it to everybody who's here. My phone number, my email is on there, and love to hear from you. Right? Sit down, talk, whatever. So today, the purpose of today's meeting is pretty simple. Okay? We embarked well over a year ago, and we submitted a grant to the state of California to build a park, okay? And the state wanted two things. They wanted it in disadvantaged portions of the state, and they wanted it over a half a mile from another park. So disadvantaged areas where there is not an existing park. I hear a lot of people say, well, Freedom's right there. It is actually farther than a half a mile from this park location, okay? So we got the grant. Okay, great news, okay? 8.5 million, that's a lot of money. With that money, we have to buy the land, and then we have to develop it. We gotta build it, right? So the state gave that, it took a long time for them to decide. So we got it, we're like, all right. So part of that grant application is we went out into the community and we asked them, what do you want in this park? And we went out, we had block parties, we had parties at the Civic, we had it outside at Civic Park, and we got all the ideas and we gave people dots and they could vote on it. And what came up is this list of what we call amenities or things we're gonna put in the park. Okay, and I'll just read it quickly, but multi-use athletic fields, 2 large play structures, an amphitheater, basketball courts, a skate park with lighting, a dog park with lighting, a community garden with lighting, an 18-disc golf course, parking lots, restrooms, public art, and a water feature. So the state says, we will give you that money to build these things, okay? Our original site was right on the corner of Florinda and 9 1/4, this yellow box, okay? And we negotiated and negotiated, and we could not come to terms with the property owner. We ran out. So we approached the adjacent property owner, and they are willing sellers of the property. So today's purpose is really your comments on simply moving from here to here, okay? And the state requires that we come out and we talk to the public. You for it, you're against it, why, and we'll note all those comments, and we're being recorded, so we've got it, to simply move from here to here. Now, one of the things you've got to understand, it's all fields right now, right? It's all agricultural. This is organic almonds. This is some alfalfa here. There is a house here, okay? And so you know, in the future, in the general plan, the circulation plan, 9th Avenue is going to be a 4-lane road that will connect Lacey to Grangeville in the future. Okay, so that's a major road heading now north and south. Florinda will continue to the east, probably not all the way to Highway 43, because they don't want to put another traffic light too close to what we've got. So that just kind of gives you the layout. Now, what will happen in the surrounding area? This will all be at some point developed into housing, shopping centers, parks, a lot of different things. And this entire area will be annexed into the city. Okay, and as part of the general plan, I didn't want to confuse you with all those colored maps and stuff like that, but it kind of gives you the overview of what this kind of will look like into the future. So we're actually pretty happy with this site because we've got Grangeville and we'll have 9th, okay? A real important part is we've always planned a new fire station in this area. And it looks like right now when you guys come up later, we're gonna put that fire station right up here on the corner. And that will give them the best access to that east side, the future east side. Because again, houses, shopping centers, parks, all that stuff. So what you have here is the original design. And folks, this is conceptual. Okay, so don't take it like you said you're going to put this right there. This is conceptual. We took all of this and we put it into that square. Now that we've moved the sites, we've taken all of this and we put it in this rectangle. A little bit narrower, a little bit longer, as you can see in comparison here. They actually, at some part, are literally across the road from each other. Okay, so really, it's right next door to the existing site, or the original site is here, and we're moving through the process with these property owners as we speak. But to get the approval from the state, we have to have this meeting to hear from you guys. Okay? Now, this park will also be phased. Okay? So phase one, pretty much what you see here. Okay, you've got all of these amenities because this is what we told the state we were going to build. Okay, and they expect us to build it. Okay? All these amenities have been moving here, but you see down the southern end we have some fields, some open space. We may not know what's going to go there in the future. Not sure. It could be fields, it could be a rec center, it could be a lot of things. We don't know yet, nor do we have the money in the grant to build all that right now, because that's very, very expensive. Okay, to really fully build this out is probably about $20 million. Just so, and I know we throw that number around, that's a lot of money. So part of my job is to figure out, how do we get the balance? How do we find that over time? So a lot of people have said, well, when is this all going to happen? When are you going to build it? Right? So, and I just want to set realistic expectations with everybody. We get through tonight, we get the approval from the state, we buy the land. Good. Okay, we go out and what we call a request for a proposal to really design the park. Okay, the details. So I know we have a lot of skate folks here. How do we design the skate park? What you guys want, what we could hold competitions at. So this could be a big time skate park. We're not there yet. We'll hire a firm that specializes it. They'll meet with you guys and they jumble it all up and we design the skate park for real. Right now, it's just really kind of an area. It may not be oblong. We just had to put something there. Same thing with the dog park. We don't know exactly what will be in that dog park. Will we have agility? What, there's all kinds of different dog parks. But we did build the park with lighting everywhere. So time's going to change pretty soon. We want people to feel safe. And when we did our community outreach meeting, we asked them a question. How would you feel safe in this park? Right? So things like lighting, things like security, things like not a lot of places to hide, right? So, and in this park, as in this one, there is a perimeter walking, jogging, biking path that is 1 mile long, 1 mile loop. And we know that's a need from our Parks and Rec Master Plan. So what you have basically are all those amenities. And then we got a second grant, okay, for $1.9 million. We're like, So the pickleball courts were next on that list, so we ended up putting 16 pickleball courts into the park, okay, because there's a need for that, okay. We also expanded the amphitheater so we could hold concerts, like real concerts, like 3,000 to 5,000 people concerts. Right? So that's pretty cool. So in the summertime, maybe we have a concert series, we get food trucks, we do whatever, and now people are coming to Hanford, right? And now you could say, I don't have to drive very far, and they have to drive from Fresno to get here, right? Versus the other way around, like we talk a lot now. So again, what can we do here for that? And then we do have the soccer fields, which we have a great need of soccer. We have 2 youth soccer programs, AYSO and Hanford Youth Soccer, that play out here at SOCCOM, and they're both playing there right now. If you ever go out there on a Saturday, it's pretty crazy. So when you do that, you better have enough restrooms, right? You better have enough parking. And these fields really become overflow parking for when we have that concert in the amphitheater, right? Because what are you going to do when 3,000 people show up? Or you better have somewhere, because we don't want to park them on the street. That would be disrespectful to the neighborhood, okay? So really today is about moving this site from here to here. And these are the amenities, and I invite you, once we answer any questions, to come and look. This is brand new, just got this about 3 hours ago. And so we tried to take this and do the best. We had to move some things around a little bit. How are people going to get into the park? How are they going to get out of the park? Right? And this could be a road someday. We don't know. These could be parking lots that are dashed here, because people like to park close to where they want to recreate, right? You don't want to park here and walk all the way down here, because this is a pretty long parcel right here. So that's really what we have. And again, when we went out to the community, when we got the grant, they actually asked us to speak at the press release with the governor, because they really felt we did a great job of going out to the community and asking them what they wanted. We did online survey, like I said, we did block parties and all kinds of stuff. And this is all during COVID, right? So all these pictures you'll see people with the masks on. We try to do things more outside because of that, but we had a really good turnout, and I think we really listened. So tonight is not about like, well, why don't you put this? Why don't you put that? This is the list that we've been funded for phase 1. And we've got to figure out, after we pay for the land, which is going to take at least half the money, okay, how we can get this built into here. And will there be tweaks and changes? Absolutely yes, there will be. That's why we hire a design firm to come in and really get into the details. They'll give us the details. They'll give us what they call the construction documents. Well, like, this much dirt's got to move from here to here. You've got to level this part out, okay? This is how much a skate park's going to cost. This is how much a mega playground's going to cost. So we put all that together, then we go out and we go out to RFP again for somebody to actually build it. So and the design is 12 to 14 months. So let's just take December as our starting point. We get through this, state approves it, 12 to 14 months. So now you're into 24, okay? Then once that's done, then we can begin to clear the lot. There is a house that would come out, and that's known by the property owner. And this would be cleared, and we'd be able to actually move dirt and start the process, which more than likely will take 10 to 12 months before we're there cutting a ribbon and all of that. Just so you know, because people are like, well, why isn't it there? It takes a while. And I know it's hard to be patient, because I'm a very impatient guy, but it's going to come. And it's pretty cool. It's a 40-acre regional park that I think is going to be a destination and something that everyone in Hanford could be proud of, and people in the region, because I think they're going to come from pretty far away to come visit this park. Okay? So, and when you get a minute, this is the tool that the state uses to determine where you put parks, okay? And you put a dot on a map, has a half-mile radius. And on here, when you come up here, it will tell you how many people live in that half mile, what the median income of that half mile is, how many youth, how many seniors, all the demographics, so to speak. And that's what the state uses when they're scoring the grant applications. Now they had, again, we're very lucky to get this grant. It's very competitive. It really is. And will we look for more grants? Absolutely, because guess what? We got phase 2, 3, and maybe 4. And so, but the good news is we'll own the property, right? We'll own the property. Now, it does push us a bit farther from the existing 9 1/4. It does. Again, you must realize that 10 years, maybe 15 years, Hanford will be developed from 9 1/4 to the highway. That's coming. We're expected to grow at least 30,000 people in the next 10 to 15 years. That's just a reality, okay? And in addition, there's a high-speed rail station going right here. And I know a lot of people, the evil thing, but that's a bit of a game changer. We're the only station between Fresno and Bakersfield. So you could own a home and live in nice Hanford, and you could be in work at 10 minutes in Fresno. So it really changes like commuting and transportation and things like that. And you could, people are going to want to live by the station, right? I mean, they want to walk and bike and all that stuff. So we're planning that. We're also trying to get trails to the park and connect things together so you don't have to take a car, right? Hanford is pretty much built on people driving cars. We got to begin to change that with walking, biking, and making it safer for people to get around that way. So we could have bike share programs so you could, check out a bike in downtown and you could put it in over somewhere else. And you drop it off and you go about, or those scooters, right? You see those in a lot of big cities. So, and it's hard because right now this is all ag. You drive by there and you're going, wow, I don't see it. And it's hard, but it will be. We ran our sewer line, we crossed 198, we crossed the railroad, so the sewer line is there for developers. And that's going to start to kick into gear pretty soon. Now, the economy's not great right this second, but it will happen. And in the general plan, it did call for a park in this region of the city. And even though it's not annexed yet, it's in what they call the sphere of influence. There's a dotted line in the general plan that says this is where the city plans to grow. Because we have to have a plan when all these people come. Where are we going to put them? Right? Where are we going to put them? So this will be, we don't know exactly what this will look like. Again, I think it's housing, I think it's commercial, I think it's retail, I think it's schools, I think there's probably another park here somewhere, but we'll have to get ready for that. And so that's coming. So we feel pretty good with our dot. And, being lucky to get the next parcel. We looked at parcels over here, right? We're happier to be closer to the west. So we got to keep it on point here first, okay? Then I'll be happy to answer any questions.